posing for a lame picture. And it looks like I'm live. All right. Here we go. Ready?
Yep.
Broadcasting to you live from the Milky Way Galaxy, the solar system, planet Earth, North America, the United States of America, California, Los Angeles to be specific. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Unhappy Hour here on the New American Media, because the news always matters. I have Zak Baris with me. Zak, hello, sir. How was dinner?
It was good. It was real good, actually.
Well, if you're happy, I'm happy.
Went to Barrio tonight.
Yeah?
Went to Barrio.
What did you have? What'd you have?
A couple of tacos and a couple margaritas.
Nice. Well, before the margaritas kick in too much, let's get right into the gist of it. Now, do you want to start with March Madness? Because we're going to talk about NBA draft picks and who we want. Do we start with LeBron, the Cavs season, Collin Sexton's report card? Where do you want to begin?
Start anywhere you want. We'll pick it off somewhere, but wherever.
All right. Magic Johnson was pushed out by LeBron James. Is that true or false?
No, I think that's false.
What do you think was behind that? It just sure seems like, LeBron is a coach killer.
The truth, I believe that Magic, I do believe that Magic, I ain't going to be here next year. They keep playing that clip all the time. But no, I truly believe that Magic Johnson couldn't handle the role. And I think he looked at it and going, they're not going to get another, Class A free agent next year. I don't see it. And I don't see them winding up with Kevin Durant. And here's the deal. Yes, they might wind up with Kemba Walker, but I still think it's unlikely. Here's the thing with the Lakers. The Lakers are kind of in a mess right now. You take a look at their roster. They really screwed it up. Ian Blank has screwed it up big time by not going out and trading those guys in the offseason. Those young guys' value only diminished. You had Kyle Kuzma, who we realized couldn't play defense. Brandon Ingram has a blood clot, which ended Chris Bosh's career at the same time. Lonzo Ball's always injured. His dad's a headache. Josh Hart's nothing more than an 8th or 9th man on a good team, in the future. They really aren't that many significant pieces on that team. You traded Subek, you traded some of the other guys. But they tried to assemble this roster because they didn't want to be like Cleveland or Miami. Let's just take back what Cleveland and Miami did. 8 straight championships with LeBron James by surrounding him with shooters you went to. Why do you want to change that?
Yeah, you thought that was the weirdest decision at the time, and it turns out it seemed accurate.
And Brian, I told you at the time I predicted the Lakers at the beginning of the year at 44 wins, possible looking out on the playoffs. I said at the beginning of the year. And people called me crazy for saying that. I said, they don't have any shooters. That's the problem. If you can't shoot the 3-ball in today's NBA, you're not going to win. And when you're bringing Stevenson, JaVale McGee, Rajon Rondo, Michael Beasley, you got rid of Brook Lopez and Julius Randle, Jordan Clarkson, Larry Nance, and D'Angelo Russell over the last year and a half.
Wow. Well, they added LeBron. Hooray. Wasted a whole year of his winning career.
The thing is that you got rid of Lopez, who can shoot the 3-ball. He's on the best team in the league in Milwaukee other than Golden State. But a team that finished the best record in the NBA this season. In Milwaukee. You've got D'Angelo Russell, who's an all-star. Julius Randle had a hell of a year with New Orleans. I just don't understand what he and Polanco were doing over there. You had a roster with a ton of young talent that you just screwed up. And again, Brian, what have we learned about the NBA? If you want a superstar, you got to trade him while the value's there. Because those players, the value of those players is only going to diminish.
And we had that battle. We had that long discussion about Kevin Love and Andrew Wiggins. And you go out and get the proven commodity when you have someone to team them up with. You go get Odell Beckham if your team is on point.
Hypothetically, if the Cavs hung on to Wiggins for 4 years and Wiggins played the same as he did in Minnesota, what would Wiggins' value be now? Nothing. He'd be a mediocre player with too high of a contract.
Exactly. Somebody nobody wants.
It's that simple. So it doesn't do you any good to hold on to these players. The Cavaliers, people said at the time the Cavs made a mistake. If anything, if the Cavaliers would have made a mistake, it was never a mistake. Andrew Wiggins could have turned into a superstar. But Kevin Love, that trade would have been, worst case scenario, it would have been a win-win for both teams. Instead, it was a win for the Cavs and a loss for the
Exactly.
Kevin Love helped them win a championship.
Well, and
the Cavaliers won that trade.
Yeah.
Kevin Love's been a multi-time All-Star with the Cavs. Andrew Wiggins hasn't sniffed an All-Star game.
And so that kind of brings us to the next question here: is what happens now that Magic is gone? I mean, a former Cavs GM is in the mix.
Well, here's the question. But here's the problem: do you keep Rob Pelinka? Do you keep Luke Walton? I think Luke Walton's a good coach. I wouldn't necessarily fire him, but and the thing is, here's the question now: do you keep LeBron James? That's the biggest question now. Is do you look at the LA Lakers and say, do we want to go in with a 35-year-old LeBron if we strike out again in free agency?
Man.
Or we go out and we sign a 30-year-old Jimmy Butler, 31-year-old Jimmy Butler to a 5-year contract in free agency, and we're stuck with Jimmy Butler going through his age 36 season? Be good for a year? Do we have a potential to potentially make a championship? Maybe. Do we have potential to go deep in the playoffs? Probably. But is this going to be good for the longevity of our franchise? Probably not. Highly unlikely. Is it going to be an untradeable contract in 2 years? And is LeBron going to be staying more than his 3 years here that he's committed to? Or is he going to go somewhere else in a couple of years? Again, the only place I can see LeBron finishing his career, because I don't think he wants to play on 4 or 5 or 6 NBA teams, is going to be Cleveland. And it's a matter of if the Cavs want him.
I don't know how you could want him at this point. He's still, the greatest player all around. He's still top 10. If he was injured, obviously that takes.
But I think the Cavaliers have moved on. I think they're heading in the right direction. I think that it's here's the thing: if the Cavaliers get offered LeBron, I don't think they turn him down in the trade, as long as it doesn't mean giving up Collin Sexton or giving up an asset like the 1, 2, 3, or 4 overall pick, which they're likely going to have. I don't think they would do it because I think they want to build this roster for the future.
And that's what Dan Gilbert has kind of been wanting. He's wanted to be free of this drama. He recognized that if LeBron wanted to come back and they could make it work, that they had a chance to bring a title, and that would be special. Fine.
Here's the thing: this franchise is also way more valuable with LeBron on it than it is with him out of it, with him not on it. But let's not even speculate about the Lakers trading LeBron back to Cleveland, because I don't think it's going to happen. I don't see why the Lakers would do it.
And that's
the Lakers are bringing in more. The Lakers are bringing more publicity having LeBron on that team, whether it's good or bad. They say no press is bad press. They're going to keep him. He still has 2 years left on his deal there.
He has a no trade clause also, doesn't he? He has a no trade.
I believe so. I believe he has a full no trade clause.
And by the way, let me tell you this: I went to a Kings game. My buddy has season tickets. It's like the 3rd or 4th year, man. I go many times every year. Not a huge hockey fan in general, but I am now. I'll root for the Kings. Why not? But this huge billboard, one of these wraparound big screen things, it was all LeBron James. The first couple games I went. When I went a couple days ago, or a week ago, 2 weeks ago, you know what it was? It was the Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry Nike commercial. Took LeBron off of the billboards in Los Angeles. It was beautiful. It was just so karmic. The karma of him, his star beginning to fade.
Now that it's funny, the Browns have ultimately turned in the Cavs with their star power. They've got
Big Four.
That's the funny thing. We'll get into the Browns later. I want to focus on basketball now. But the star power has shifted, and this year, it was an NBA nightmare for LeBron to go to the Lakers. Looking back, and I said this at the beginning of the year, with their West Coast games, nobody gives 2 shits about the West Coast in the NBA. They just don't. I lived out in the West Coast for 8 years. Brian, you've been out there for longer than I have. I was out west for 8 years. TV is not meant to be watched by people on the West Coast. It's meant for an East Coast, Midwest viewing audience. That's it. It's meant for the New York down to Miami and through the, and then through the, through Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Chicago, and St. Louis, and Detroit. Those are in Minneapolis even. Those are the markets meant for. It's meant for Eastern time zone and Central. It's not meant for a West Coast viewing audience. There's a reason why shows like American Idol are on a 3-hour tape delay. It's exactly my point.
All right.
People do not care out there, out west, about sports. It's not meant. The Lakers are not what they were 10, 15 years ago. The league has changed. again, it was much better LeBron playing a mid-market than it was having LeBron in LA.
That may be the
It
case.
was more important to the NBA.
And so this kind of brings me into the next question here with, the Lakers figuring out what they're going to do. Are they going to go after David Griffin? Do you think there's a chance he lands up there? And do you think Coach Lou comes back? Do you think it's a Cleveland reunion in La La Land?
I don't see it happening unless they fire Pelinka.
Do you think that's possible or probable?
If I'm the Lakers, the first call I make is to Bob Myers, the GM of the Warriors. That's the first call I make. The second was David Griffin.
All right.
I called them both on the same day.
Well, I mean, that comes.
That's the thing. If one of them are willing to commit to your franchise, you fire Pelinka and you clean house. But I see Griffin. I don't know if it's an ideal situation for Griffin. They're not loaded with picks. Their young talent subpar at best. And Pelinka did an awful job as the GM there. And so did Magic. They were terrible. We've all criticized Kobe Altman here in Cleveland. But looking back on it, the Cavaliers did exactly as they wanted to do this season. They wanted Collin Sexton to develop. At the beginning of the year, he looked like a horrible player, but came into his own after the All-Star break and was fantastic.
Yeah, go figure.
Really was. He really was. You can put him up there in the likes of one of the better rookies. He had a fantastic season in the second half. And he was impressive. He really was. He was sitting out there, it seemed like he was putting up 25 every night. Still, he seems like he's more of a two-guard in the NBA than a point guard, but he'll be very successful as a player. It kind of reminds me a little bit of a young Kyrie.
Huh. Interesting. Now, Kyrie's a unique breed. He does his own thing.
Collin can get to the bucket, though. That's the thing, and he shot the three well.
Good.
He was not Collin by any means was not a bad player this season. The first half, he was not very good. Second half, he looked like he could be a future All-Star in this league. I'm not saying he will be, but he could be.
That's fantastic. And it was fortunate, I think, that Kevin Love got injured and Tristan Thompson was injured.
That's what I'm saying. If you had a fully healthy Cavs roster out there, this team would have won in the 30s.
Yeah.
They probably would have won 33 to 35 games, somewhere 31 to 35 games. They would have won somewhere in there if they were fully healthy. They were putting on a lineup. I was at games with Dang Adele and Jaron Blossom game in their starting five. Like, they weren't trying to win. And that's the thing is they went from being a great team, a championship caliber team, to sucking in one season. That's exactly what you could have hoped for. This team would have been totally screwed if they won 31 games this year. Yeah,
you and I used to always talk about the Atlanta Hawks. They were perpetually like the 7 seed, the 8 seed. They were too good to suck and get a top draft pick, but they were too bad to really compete for a title. You don't want to be in purgatory. Either suck and suck worse than anybody else, or be fantastic and be better than anyone else. Don't be in the middle.
The worst part were the 90s Cavs teams that kept being on the verge of the 8 seed for the playoffs every year and never getting a good enough draft pick because it's very unlikely you strike gold like Milwaukee did with Giannis.
Right. Hey, fun fact.
I look back on it and I go,
go ahead.
What? I look back on it now and I'm like, if I'm the Cavaliers, I look back on this now and I go, okay, this is the best possible scenario. Either if you land the number 1 overall pick, you're taking Zion Williamson. You land over 2, you have the choice between John Morant or RJ Barrett. 3, same choice. You're going to take one of the 2, whichever one's left on the board. And then there's the drop-off. You've got guys like Nazir Little from North Carolina. There are still good players on the board, but it's not as significant as the top 3 are in this draft. If the Cavaliers land one of the top 3 picks, be excited either way. Obviously we want Zion here in Cleveland, but not a given that he's going to be here. He is, his height is just not as big as it was with LeBron James, but it's pretty damn high.
It's up there.
And he'll bring the TV ratings back to Cleveland. He'll bring everything back here. Especially with the arena. It'd be a great fit for Cleveland if we could land him here. It'd be fantastic. But I'd be happy with RJ or John Morant. I'd love to see John Morant in the backcourt with Collin Sexton. I think it'd be fantastic to watch.
And then you got Kevin Love and Tristan Thompson, and you got.
Don't rule out a trade either. to a guy that signed long-term like a Gordon Hayward. That still has a few years left on his deal. Boston has 4 first-round picks this year. Could flip 2 of those first-round picks in Gordon Hayward for J.R. Smith's contract and another piece that the Cavaliers are willing to give up on an expiring deal. And they suddenly go and plug Gordon Hayward back to that starting lineup. If Gordon Hayward could look like he did like his old self, they worked the contract, and you picked up 2 extra first-round picks in the process, Cavaliers would have something really going there. Imagine a lineup that has John Morant, Collin Sexton, Gordon Hayward, Kevin Love, and Tristan Thompson.
Yeah, all right. I could lace them up every night with that squad.
It'd be a fun team to watch. It'd be very exciting to watch it. And if Hayward gets back to his old fit, putting up 20-something points a game, that team's a 4 or 5 seed in the East next season. And then suddenly you have 4 big guys to go there. You've got Kevin Love, you've got Gordon Hayward, you've got John Morant, you've got Collin Sexton. If both of those guys pan out in their backcourt, man, it could be a fun team to watch for years.
All right. Collin Sexton report card. Overall, what do you give him?
I would say I give him a C for the first half of the season and give him an A-, to an A for the second half.
Okay. Well, that's progressing in the right direction. I'll take that. I want to get an elaboration on the Cavs draft odds. Just for the people out here, because, it had been a while since we cared about the draft. It's so weird, too, just as a little teaser for what we're going to be talking about with the Cleveland Browns. It's so weird that we don't care about the first round of the draft as a Browns fan for the first time. And I can hardly remember a time like this. But now, after 4 straight finals appearances from the Cavs, now we're caring about the draft again. Can you refresh us on how the odds work? Because they changed the odds where – well, I just if you can explain it to the best that you can in a nutshell, who has the best chance and how does it work? You said there's a drop off after 3.
The Knicks have the best chance. No longer do they have a 25% chance of winning the first overall pick. It's now equal odds with the top 3 worst teams, which are the Knicks, the Suns, and the Cavs. Who have the Suns and the Cavs at equal odds to finish the same record. And I believe the Bulls are the 4th worst. But back when the number 1, it's just different now. Let me pull up the chart and see 2019 draft odds.
And by the way, I'll take this moment to let everybody know if you're watching in Strictly Cavaliers on the Facebook group, or if you're in the Unhappy Hour, start tapping the like button, hit the hearts button so that the algorithm shows that you're interacting with the show. Leave your comments. We want to participate. Leave your comments, and we'll try to address them and speak them to Zach. So go ahead.
The top 3 worst teams in the league all have the same odds at 14%. But the Cavaliers have a likelier pick at picking 6th than they do at 4, where the Knicks have the highest odds of still picking at 4 in the top 4. They have the worst record. So it did change a little bit, but it gave equal odds to the 3 worst teams. So rather than having 25%, they're down to 14.
Okay. So, should we be comfortable that we're not the worst team, but we still have a chance, or should we?
Yeah, be comfortable being the 2nd worst team, 3rd worst team in the league.
And so,
the same odds the number 1 overall pick the Knicks do.
So are we exactly tied with the Suns, or is there a tiebreaker there?
I didn't believe we're exactly tied with the Suns.
Okay. Yeah, because it was such a weird season. I would click on the scoreboard just to hope we lost. And that's not a fun way to watch a season. But
but you want to what? Brian went to a lot of games this year. What you wanted to see was see them be competitive in close losses.
And you saw a lot of that.
Yeah.
And so that rebuilding process, it looks like it went pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it. What do you see with the Cavs general manager position? Because you're talking about these trades and the draft. Obviously, it's going to be important, and a lot of people still blame Dan Gilbert for not paying Griffin for pushing LeBron and Kyrie apart and dealing him to the Celtics.
Odds are it was a mistake, but I think Kobe did a decent job this year. We still got to give him a chance to see how he does in the draft this year, and doesn't screw it up. Hopefully, he doesn't pull a Chris Grant. Would I like to have Griff at the helm? Yeah, I think it'd be great to have, but we don't have him anymore.
He is available, isn't he? Does he want it?
He is available.
Well, for $5 million.
I think Griff will come back for the right offer, but I don't think Gilbert would pay him $10 million a year.
And that much? Wait, 10? I thought he was worth 5. You're saying he's 10?
Probably 10.
Wow. Okay. And by the way, your Gordon Hayward rumor. Do you have any any insight into that? Is that something that's kind of being shopped actively right now, or it's just a hunch?
I think that's something that will be shopped in the offseason. I've been pretty right about these in the past, and when I look at contracts of players, on playoff caliber teams, championship caliber teams that want to shut a contract like that, that's the first player that comes to mind. And usually, I've been pretty right about these every offseason, and I'm going to go ahead and say that's probably the move that the Celtics would explore. In 2 of their first 4 picks in the first round, because obviously they're not going to put 4 first-round picks on a championship caliber roster. Do I think they try to move a couple of those pieces for Anthony Davis? Yes, but that remains to be seen.
Okay. All right. Well, that's something we can keep our eyes on. And then, of course, the free agent drama. I'm reading this article came out today from Cody Benjamin at CBS Sports saying Giannis has declined an invitation to star in Space Jam 2 alongside LeBron James, and that this is coming on the heels of a report
I don't think
suggesting
he wants anything to do with Hollywood.
It's saying that LeBron is also struggling to recruit co-stars in general for the movie, just like we've been hearing. He's having a hard time recruiting players to his team.
He's having an issue with the shoe deals, from what I'm hearing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're having problems mixing Adidas and Under Armour into that. So it looks like he's going to have to be with 4 Nike guys.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's a lot of players from Paul George and go down the list. A lot of players don't want to play with LeBron.
Irving. I mean, Kyrie's in Hollywood. There's Anthony Davis. There's still Kevin Durant. But I think a lot of those guys are focused on their free agency right now. So you might not see them commit.
It's going to be interesting to watch. It's so weird having LeBron on another team, and he's in my backyard. And I don't hate him, but I can see his BS more clearly than I ever did. I'm so appreciative of the title, the championship. I think he's the GOAT. But I think he also brings a whole lot of drama with him. We've always known this, but I think I've kind of turned the other cheek, turned a blind eye to it. But now it's just so obvious. Back to the Cavaliers real quick. Do you think Larry Drew should come back as head coach next year?
He's not coming back next year.
So what is the latest with the Cavs search? Like, if that was announced, I missed it.
Going to be looking at So I think you're going to look at former assistants under Ty Lue that have gone elsewhere, former people connected with the Cavs organization. I think you'll see from Rise to Start someone maybe, I don't want to get into specific names, but I think you might see someone, I think Luke Walton might be a candidate, who I think would be a good fit with this team. I really do. I think another option you're going to see someone within the Nets organization become a name. Someone within the Nuggets organization. I just don't want to get on names yet because I have heard some things personally, and I just don't want to say the names right now. So I'm going to say where the guys are from.
Zach, this gives you the street cred. Come on. Is there any name you can drop?
No.
Okay.
Because I've heard the names coming from each of these organizations, and I'm not going to say anything, Brian. I will tell you in private who they are.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say this over the air. I've told you something private before that I can't personally say.
Yes, you have.
Because I'd get in specific trouble. So.
And let me tell you, as a journalist, I know what I know because I don't reveal sources and I don't spill the beans when I'm not supposed to. So yes, shoot me a text.
I've told you some really, really good stuff before off the air. It's all come to fruition.
You have. You absolutely have. Why is Drew not a fit for this team moving forward? Why is that not a thing?
I just think age. I think they want to get someone younger in there, to tell you the truth, who can work. I think he did a very good job this season, to tell you the truth. There was no drama within the organization this year. I think it was one of those times. It was just, I think he did a good job.
Another good thing about this season, Channing Frye, kind of wrapping up a career. And I mean, didn't you find it nice, like having this guy, the NBA champion, and he's still on the team kind of in a mentorship role? I don't know. That was kind of a nice little subplot, a little storyline there. I mean, him and RJ and some of that stuff was pretty cool. What were some of your favorite moments of the season? Like aside from watching Collin develop, what are some good positive takeaways you have about this Cavs team on this season?
I think that he improved. I think when they were at full force, it didn't look like a bad basketball team.
And that's you're saying with Tristan, with Kevin, with the people healthy.
With Dellavedova, yeah, when they were healthy, they looked pretty good.
All right. Well, I'm happy with that. What do you think about the name change to the Q?
I hate the name Fieldhouse.
Why did
It's
they
not a
say
field
FieldHouse? Why did they say that name FieldHouse?
I hate the name Fieldhouse. I wouldn't have minded Rocket Mortgage Arena, the Rocket Mortgage Center, but the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, it sounds ridiculous.
Are they playing lacrosse out there, or what? I mean, Fieldhouse. Are they going to try to get a soccer team? Are they going to get an NHL team? I mean, I don't. What is a field
But you
house?
see an NHL team playing in a field house.
I don't.
Field house is a high school basketball team or a college team.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I think almost universally that's pretty weird for people to listen to. That's pretty weird to see. But as far as all those renovations and all the upgrades and improvements, have you been over there a lot? Have you gotten any sneak previews of what's about to come? Is it going to be cool? Should we be happy about all this? All the investment? Is it going to bring any new events to the area?
Yeah, sure it will. The arena's gorgeous now. I mean, I don't, I'm not much on the concourse. I'm down on the floor concourse area. They've done a nice job with the court clubs and everything down there with the court club, with the chairman's club, with the Bacardi Signature Lounge. They've done a great job with the Westfield Lounge, Huntington Lounge. There's definitely more places to, it's definitely more of a who's who scene now than it was before. It used to be a very, very tight squeeze down in the Lexus Lounge. I think they've done a nice job separating the clubs.
All right. Very cool. Well,
I think now they're starting to open up a bunch of restaurants there too. They're really doing a nice job on it.
Yeah, I saw like a preview where they're going to do all the local food, and they're going to. I mean, Cleveland's become a really big foodie city. I was reading up on that the other day, and the walk up to that whole spot with all the hip restaurants, and it's pretty neat. It's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with that, and I'm glad
to. Nucleus is being built. Nucleus is being built too now. They're breaking ground in August, so you'll see Cleveland live, kind of like LA live.
Ah, so that's what it's going to be. Yeah, you should see the develop. Are you coming out to LA anytime soon?
I will be out there in the next few months.
Okay, hit me up when you do. Like, I got to show you around the amount of infrastructure being built right in my area. It's unbelievable.
Oh, especially, I know what the development's like in Culver. It's crazy.
It is absolutely incredible, but it's exciting. It's traffic's going to be a snarl. But anyway, I digress on that. Okay, so we got into the name change of Rocket Mortgage FieldHouse. We discussed basically the top 3 to top 10 draft picks, the Cavs draft odds. Collin Sexton getting a C- in the first half, maybe an A-, or maybe a C in the first half, A to A- in the second half. Coach Drew out, maybe Luke Walton in. We'll see. Text me the name of some of those up-and-coming assistants that might be there. Next Lakers coach, wait and see. Magic pushed out by LeBron, whatever. See what happens there. You want to make a transition over to the Indians or the Browns, good sir?
Fine either way. Wherever you want to go, we're talking about them both. So.
Cleveland Indians are in first place. Don't look now, but those cheap Dolans who get so much grief when we put 8,000 people into that stadium, it's 80% empty in April, obviously because the weather sucks. But the Dolans have consistently put together a winning product, a fluke rain delay away from winning a World Series against the Cubs, I would posit. And the Indians are in first place, 8-4 in the Central, half a game up on the Tigers. What have you seen out of the Tribe in this early part of the season? I'm pretty happy. We're usually really cold.
I was at Bauer's no-hitter the other night. That he lost. I mean, that Tito pulled him for after 117 pitches. I'll tell you this, it was a cold game, and I was pissed. But I understand it looking back on it. You have to.
He threw a lot of pitches early.
Here's the thing, though. If the team had an offense, man, would they be great. But they're all great. This team looks like they could win 100 games with their pitching. That's without Lindor or anything. And I was very, very critical of them over the offseason. But they're still not hitting. But, I mean, they're getting timely hits, which is nice. The bullpen's been much, much better. And they're winning games. Fun to watch. Their pitching's fantastic.
Yeah, you're scrolling through the league rankings here. I'm kind of looking at the Tampa Bay Rays are at top in the East, and the Mariners in the West. I'm looking at runs allowed. The Indians have only given up 35 runs.
They've allowed like half less than the rest of the league.
Yeah, the Rays have only allowed 26, but we're at 35, and I'm scrolling through, and 35, that ties with the Reds as being best in the league. So we're like third best. And, yeah, we're not scoring a ton of runs. We haven't put up 61 like the Yankees. Whoa, or 117 like the Mariners. Yeah. I mean, we put up 8 the other night, but how about Carlos Santana, by the way? For everybody worried about losing Edwin, look at Carlos Santana. Have you found?
Just look what the Mariners are doing now. Look what the Mariners are doing before you say losing Edwin. Because Carlos Santana's been great, but look what the Mariners are doing.
I'm looking at the Mariners now. Tell me about what they're doing. I'm looking at them.
They're scoring an unlimited amount of runs. They've been unbelievable. I mean, they're going to slow down, but it's still like very, very impressive.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull up Edwin here to see. Yeah, he's got 4 home runs on the year, hitting 326. Edwin was barely scratching 230.
Jay Bruce is like 19 RBI for the Mariners. Like, they're crushing it.
Well, yeah, Jay Bruce and Edwin Encarnacion are 2 players we brought in to help us out. Bruce is 7 home runs, 13 RBIs, only 204 average. But, yeah, I liked him here. I liked him on the team. But as far as what you're seeing with Bauer, I mean, Clevenger getting injured, isn't it nice to bring up someone like Shane Bieber?
That's how Yandy Diaz is playing. Because there was a trade at from the start when they traded Yandy. But you know what? We'll give Jake Bauers a chance.
We're going to have to.
It's still very early. You don't want to write him off.
And don't forget, this whole season, this has been without Frankie Lindor, perhaps our best player. So,
yep.
I mean, there's a lot to be excited about with the Cleveland Indians. I just want to remind fans to go out and watch the games. Go to the ballpark. Spend a day.
I've been going. I'll be at the All-Star game. I've been going to games.
Yeah, there's a pretty good chance we're going to be there for the All-Star game too. So if so, I'll tell you about the Unhappy Hour meetup, and we'll have to plan something as well. All right, well, cool. Any other final thoughts on the Tribe before we bounce to the Browns?
Nope, I think that's it.
All right, let's go to the Browns. Man, where do you want to start? I mean, I guess the Odell Beckham Jr. press conference was interesting. That we haven't talked since then. I don't know. What's on your mind with the Browns? Is it weird that we haven't been paying so much rapt attention to the NFL draft for the first time in forever? I think that's astonishing.
Brian, I love it.
I want to get used to this. I really do.
This is great. I love what they've done this offseason. Dorsey, again, we talked about this last year. Dorsey turned over so many players. I mean, take a look at it. There's like 4 players left from the year on this roster.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
It really is. It really is astonishing. I guess in the draft, trading away parts and getting stuff back, and I just in Dorsey, I trust. I'm just going to trust that the moves are all going to make sense because most of them have, and I expect the Browns. I don't know if you're in agreement with me. I expect the Browns to draft a running back somewhere between the rounds 3 and 7. I expect the Browns to draft a quarterback somewhere in the 5th, 6th, or 7th round because I think that's kind of what Dorsey does best, to kind of stock the cabinet in case these players come up for their first big contract extension and don't want to play ball and just kind of spin it over. I don't know if you expect that or not, but I'm also expecting Dorsey to maybe trade back into the first round because we have so many picks in the window of opportunity might be now. Why not go get somebody that can fill a glaring weakness? You have any thoughts on?
You make a valid point.
This is the window. This is the Jared Goff window. You got the young quarterback on the rookie deal. You got the superstar receivers, perhaps the best wide receivers in the league, perhaps the best running back tandem in the league, one of the best up-and-coming tight ends in the league, a great number 3 wide receiver in Callaway or Rashad Higgins. I mean, there's not a lot of glaring weaknesses on this team.
There's very few holes on this team. The only thing they really need to add is depth.
I think they're going to do that. Trading with the Chiefs, with Agba and getting somebody in the secondary again, I think that's going to help. I think we might go linebacker in the second or third round, get a linebacker, some linebacker help.
I think George will pick the best player available, to tell you the truth, outside of wide receiver.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it. And, for so many years, the Browns have been the laughing stock of the league, but now it looks like the Pittsburgh Steelers have become the complete melodramatic, dysfunctional team in the league. What is your take on this? Because now I heard something from Rashard Mendenhall today that just took it to another level with Ben Roethlisberger. Did you happen to see that quote?
No, I did not. What did he say?
Yeah, I don't have it the specific in front. I sent it out earlier. I should just pull it up. While I pull that up, what are your thoughts on the implosion of the Steelers with Le'Veon, with Antonio Brown and Juju?
They said, I'll believe it when here's the thing, there's a lot of off-season drama going on right now, and I'll give them that. It has not been pretty tumultuous off-season for them. But until I see it happen on the field and they go 3-13 or 5-11, then it's just their crappy offseason. That's what it is. But don't forget, Le'Veon Bell didn't even play for them last season. Antonio Brown, he's great, but he's also 31 years old. I'm not sitting here as a staunch defender of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm just saying, they're a pretty damn well-run organization. It's not, I'm not ready to write them off just yet, if you know what I mean.
So here we go. The messy break. This is from the New York Post. The messy breakup of the Steelers is somehow getting worse. Former Pittsburgh running back Rashard Mendenhall defended traded wide receiver Antonio Brown in his ongoing feud with the franchise Thursday by calling Ben Roethlisberger a racist quarterback on Twitter. Quote, "All right, I'll end the mystery. B's a racist and AB84 is black," Mendenhall tweeted. "He had to catch balls from a racist quarterback. Every honest player knows it. It's not a big deal. He was just supposed to take his lickings and move on like a slave. For real." I mean, shots fired, man. Like, going into the locker room and going this far. I mean, we've known that Roethlisberger, we've called him Rapelessberger for almost 2 decades now. And a lot of the racial stuff that comes up in sports, I roll my eyes at this point because it's just everything's racist, it seems. Accusations left and right. But, I don't know who's primarily at fault here. I mean, clearly Antonio Brown has got a ridiculous, massive ego. He didn't like Juju Smith coming in there. But, it clearly looks like the organization has backed Roethlisberger. And, Mendenhall tried to backpedal from it. He said, clearly it's no fun when everyone's the accused. Please allow the dialogue in sports to be equal. Why is it so easy to shoot at one player but not the other? B's not racist, just like AB's not a dirtbag. # let's be fair. So I don't know. Is he randomly throwing out the racist accusations because it's so easy to do these days, or is there something to it? I don't know, but I am so happy watching the Steelers implode. I hear you. I'll believe it when I see it, but I'm seeing a total train wreck this offseason, and every loss that they've had has been an improvement by the Browns. I couldn't be much happier in an offseason than I am right now. So
yeah, and the Ravens have had a lot of losses too.
Yes, they have.
And the Bengals stink.
Bengals are a complete rebuild. At least they know it. When the Chargers played the Ravens the second time, they totally solved that issue with Lamar Jackson at quarterback. I don't think they're going to be that good. They hemorrhage talent, veteran talent on the Ravens team. Ozzie Newsome was always good at stocking the cabinets, but it's not his show anymore. So, I don't know. Zach, I'm just so amped, man. I'm so amped for the Cleveland Browns. The Indians are in first place. And the Cavs, the Cavs are rebuilding it. And hopefully, it looks like they're doing it the right way. This is a wonderful time to be a Cleveland sports fan.
Brian, I'd have to agree with you.
I'm loving this, man. I'm happy you've been able to join us on the ride for so long. We've seen the Cavs down, we've seen the Cavs up. We've seen the Indians down, we've seen the Indians up. And the Browns have been epically bad. Now they have a potential to run the table and be epically good. Yes, I said it. Any final thoughts then on the Columbus Blue Jackets with their stunning upset?
I have not been watching, I'll just be honest.
That's fair. I've been paying a little bit more attention than usual, but barely. I saw I think McNeil tweeted, what was it, Tampa Bay Lightning? The 62-win Lightning blew a 3-0 lead to the Blue Jackets, kind of paying homage to the 72-win Warriors blowing a 3-1 lead to the Cavs, which is pretty sweet. So, man, I don't know. I guess.
Listen, I hope the Blue Jackets win. I'm just not. I'm rooting for them as the state of Ohio. I hope they win.
Same here. But circling back, and we'll end it on this: NBA playoffs predictions, and then we're obviously going to have to talk about free agency and the draft. But
we're going to have to do another show for that. I'm getting exhausted. But I would say I'd predict the Golden State Milwaukee finals.
Milwaukee going all the way. All right, cool. Yeah, definitely. I appreciate your time. You go get some sleep. Thanks for joining us after a few margaritas and a delicious meal even. I certainly appreciate it. Okay, you heard it here first. You're hearing the Bucks versus the Warriors in the finals. We'll come back. We'll do another show on that later. Zach, I appreciate your time, buddy. I'll talk to you again soon.
All right, thanks again, Brian.
All right, take care. There he goes, folks. That's Zak Baris. And I want to thank you guys for watching and participating in the program here. It's been a blast. There's a private Facebook group. It's called The Unhappy Hour Sports Show. I hope you sign up and request joining the group. That'd be rad. And Strictly Cavaliers. Strictly Cavaliers over here. Another private group. A lot of private groups on Facebook. The main page is called TheNewAmericanMedia. You can follow that as well if you wish, if you want to get into current events and politics. My name is Brian Engelman, signing out from the left coast. Talk to you again soon. Peace.